Welcome to KY3's 50th anniversary celebration. Please welcome Ozarks Today and News Show anchor Steve Grant and former KY3 News Director and anchor Joyce Reed.
You know, Joyce, I think still the highest compliment any of us at KY3 could ever have is the folks who watch us day after day saying, we always feel like you're part of the family.
Oh.
You know, and the family's here tonight.
Thank you so
Hi,
much.
Mom. Your mom's here too, right?
Yes, hi, Mom.
Well, it's nice to have you back. And people, when I go out in the field to do assignments, people say, where's Joyce Reed these days? So here's your chance.
I traveled around the country some, was in El Paso, Texas, Kansas City, Missouri, Richmond, and finally made my way to Oklahoma City about 8.5 years ago, 3 weeks before the Oklahoma City bombing as news director.
Yeah.
Right.
And then after that?
Oh, and now I work for the corporation that owns KWTV in Oklahoma City and KOTV in Tulsa.
In strategic planning? Doesn't sound like
That's
news
right.
to me.
That's right, it's not news anymore. And while I was off gallivanting around the country, you were creating the first and best morning show in the country.
I think we're up to 6,500 broadcasts now in Ozarks Today.
That's right.
Thank you.
You know, KY3 has always been first, always, from the beginning.
Well, you were a first too. People still remember that. Our first co-anchor, our first female news director. That was great.
Long ago, but also first to go from film to tape. In fact, I think it was the first affiliate in the country to go make that transition from film to tape. And then from tape to live, and then live to satellite.
And we're about to see that because for 50 years, KY3 has stayed in the vanguard of communications and communications revolution in the Ozarks. So Joyce, let's look just how much has changed in 50 years. Here's a special look behind the scenes.
In the beginning, we were like kids at Christmas time, just the right amount of stuff to get on the air.
We ordered it and out of the catalog, you might say, and they were trying to put it out so fast because everybody was wanting equipment. Everybody was trying to get on the air first.
Electronic journalism was new too. Pretty much radio with pictures, a handful of reporters, typewriters, clacking teletypes, and clunky cameras.
We would go out and cover the story. As a reporter, we would cover it as a photographer, and we would come back and we would be the darkroom person and we would be the editor.
By the mid-1960s, the newsroom's darkroom was getting out of the dark ages.
Our big first steps, in technology was to get that big sound on film camera, which was a portable sound on film camera, but if you ever saw the package, it had like 3 or 4 cases you took with it.
But most of what we covered still had to be shot in the morning to get on the news at night.
They had a governor's conference at the Lake of the Ozarks, taking that film over to a flyer at Lake of the Ozarks Airport who flew it back and had a little parachute and dropped it in the backyard of KYTV.
By KY3's 25th anniversary, film was history, much to the delight of control room engineers.
You had to start another projector and you had to make a switch between the 2 projectors, and then you had videotape that you had to insert in there.
KY3 was among the first local stations to order handheld color cameras tied to a portable video recorder.
Except we traded a 15-pound sound camera for 75 pounds of video gear.
Jim Hankins was chief photographer during that transition.
More photographers, more assignments, no waiting around for film to process. It was like you're out there, you come back, and you're going.
Sky 3 soon swooped into our coverage. Our newscopter took us even farther afield than any live local remote, and it was an incredible camera platform. KY3 kept getting noticed for doing news and production only the networks and O&Os tried. Most of our toys, as we call them, had serial numbers of 25 or lower, like
000001. I remember that.
Our original Celebrate the Ozarks roadshows in 1986 were actually a test run on how well and how many places we could roll in with a satellite truck and do the news.
Coming up, Aaron Hayes at the Basin Park down on Main Street, and the history of Eureka Springs. Show you the history of Shannon County from.
We continue celebrating Kaplinger Mills. Steve Grant will tell us about the long and happy marriage of Rolla and its School of Mines.
Now we uplink via Skycom nearly every day.
A lot of people don't realize that we do more live than we do tape anymore. And they'll come to me and they'll go, when's this going to be on? I said, it's already on. You're done. Oh, really?
And it's amazing with whom you can connect via satellite in your own backyard as a noon show guest.
Good morning, Springfield, Missouri. Of course, you know this is my birthplace, but most other people probably wouldn't. I was just having my breakfast this morning downstairs. Our shift just woke up, and we're ready to get started on our shift of this mapping experience.
As we beamed into the 21st century, computer and video technology rapidly evolved into an even clearer picture. Digital TV. Just another first KY3 viewers have come to expect.
This is a completely different way of doing television.
Technically, we will be channel 44 on your HD TV dial, but KY44 doesn't quite have the ring to it.
People are used to looking different places on the dial for KY3, but I think our brand is still the same.
Those were the days.
Well, but speaking of brand, the brand KY3 is to the Ozarks like General Electric is to the United States. It's so strong. How did KY3 come out of KYTV?
Well, we owe that to the man who originally said we could be on the air, although those many years ago. We affectionately called him DM the GM, the late Donald Moeller, who was general manager at the time. One day came to work and decided that KYTV Channel 3 Springfield, Missouri was a little too formal. So he decided to shorten it to KY3, and we got that really funky music. And the rest is history.
What a brand it is.
Let's come back for the 75th anniversary, okay?
Oh, gee, I hope. And thank you so much for inviting me back.
It's great. Good to see you again, Joyce. All right. Hey, the man with the mic this time is Jerry Jacob.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Joyce. Technology is not the only thing that has changed over the years. So without further ado, I present to you Man with the Mic 2003. Hi, what's your name?
Well, hi, I'm Joan.
Hi, Joan. Nice to meet you. Sign this, please, if you would. This is a simple release. It's a relatively standard procedure. Just sign here and here quickly if you can. We're on live TV here. There you go. Very good. And there. And if you could initial here, here, and here. Quickly, come on. Okay, there. And one more time, sign there to say that you signed an initial on the other pages. And sir, if you could just sign the witness there. You didn't get him on TV, did you? Oh, gee, hold on. All right, and then you need to fill that out there and sign here. Joan, I'm going to need you to roll up your sleeve. We're going to need a little blood as well. So while she's doing that, we're going to take another commercial break. We'll be back with the 50th anniversary celebration in a moment, folks. Just roll it up right there. Just get a vein.
Coming up on our 50th anniversary celebration, a dedication to KY3's children's programs.
I guess my first impressions of KY3 came from an early age as I grew up watching the station. It was a favorite of my parents, and I remember we watched it every night. It's hard to believe back then that I would someday be a part of this great station. As I look today and what is most significant during that period, again, I'd go back to the people. Many of those people that have been part of the success, a lot of those are still with us today. Ned Reynolds would come to mind, I guess, as one of those relics of the past, but just show that to Ned, would you? Okay.
all the survivors who survived, luckily nobody was fatality. There were no fatalities in the tornado.
Hey, you know what, folks? We're live right now, and that's kind of like an accident waiting to happen.
Welcome to the stage, 6 o'clock news anchor Christina King and Children's Hour host Norma Champion.
What a great crowd tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out.
Wonderful.
And what an honor it is for me to be up here with the Aunt Norma.
Oh. Woo, well, you know, thank you. KY3 is really my station, Christina.
I know it.
And television, especially live television, is my first love. So this is like coming home, and I love it.
Well, how do you like my outfit?
Well, it looks very, very 50s.
Kind of promenade-ish, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I certainly would.
Well, after all, it was back in the 1950s that Children's Hour started and came of age. We fell in love with Aunt Norma back in the 1950s.
And when I think about all those years from 57 when I started to late 86, of the thousands of friends I made and I'm still making because of Children's Hour. In fact, if you don't mind, I'd like to find out. I bet we have some people out here who were on Children's Hour.
I bet we do.
Let's
hear
from
from
you.
you.
Were on Children's Hour? Can we see you? I see a few. Yay!
Bravo!
If I could admit I did it, they can admit they were on.
Well, obviously, Children's Hour has been a big part of KY3's history, just by looking out at the audience and all the people who have been a part of it.
Yes.
And, you know, we also know how special that you have been coming into our living rooms for so long.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate that. And we're going to kind of take a little bit of a look back at the children's programming over the years.
Well, KY3 has been very committed to children's programming, not just Children's Hour, but children's programming throughout the years that we've been on, even like the KY3 for Kids series.
You know, and that's one thing that makes me very proud to be, as a mom, part of KY3 because of that commitment to the kids, because the kids are our future.
And that's really the story we're going to share with you right now. Are you ready, Skinny and Rusty?
Yes! Roll 'em, Clinton!
In 1957, Children's Hour was already a hit with Ozarks Kids, but the show went to a whole new level when a petite young lady called KY3 Studios to ask for a job interview.
When the time came up for my appointment, Children's Hour was open. The job wasn't even open when I made the appointment, and I didn't know why I was coming in. Well, I did have people occasionally say to me, you know, you'd be good at that. You ought to volunteer to help with a children's show or something.
Norma Champion landed the job of her dreams, taking over Children's Hour as host and producer, and assuming the title of Aunt Norma. The show aired live every weekday afternoon from the KYTV studios on West Sunshine Street.
So we did drawings and crafts and food. But it was fun to put together, and it would be fun.
She didn't know it then, but Aunt Norma had a monumental influence on young minds in the Ozarks.
What they took from it was a sense of values. I heard that. I still hear it over and over and over. You set my values. You made a difference in the way I look at things.
Not just values, but fun. To give the show variety, different puppets took on a life of their own. The most popular, Skinny and Rusty Rooster.
Welcome to the Children's Hour. I'm Skinny McGinnis. I'm Rusty Rooster, and here's Aunt Norma.
Hi,
Production manager Fred Raines, the voice behind both for 32 years, says he borrowed a little from radio in creating the puppets' characters.
I took the voice from an old Lum and Abner character on radio named Ben Withers, and he talked as if he had a bad cold, and I thought, well, Skinny, being skinny, probably had a lot of colds.
As for Rusty, the rooster was a bit rowdy, as Fred remembers well.
And his favorite thing was, blow out the candles!
Children's Hour would go on to air until 1986.
School's out for the summer, and that means many children have to find something to do with all that spare time.
KY3's commitment to children would be seen in the years following through the popular KY3 for Kids news segments, stories featuring young Ozarkers giving back to their community.
Because I'm trying to go for my goals, you know, take my art to the limit.
In addition to the news stories, KY3 continues to air sponsored public service announcements geared toward making family life a little less hectic.
If you love to write, write. I like to do school. I love school. I'm thinking of being a lawyer, and I know...
Reading is an important part of the learning process.
Susan Goodman, a mom herself, has produced those kids' spots for more than 10 years.
I try to make them be positive messages to children and their parents.
Today and yesterday, kids are at the heart of what we do every day. They're the next generation of viewers who will someday shape the community we call home.
I think it's why people feel that KY3 is their station.
Christina, we didn't ever show Fred because we didn't want the children to be confused by
Well,
Skinny
sure.
and Rusty. So it's kind of nice. I never got to do a show with Fred before.
It's nice to see both of your faces at the same time with Skinny and
Yeah.
Rusty as well.
I don't know how many Skinnies and Rusties we must have had over all those years because
How
Fred
many?
did it for 33 years.
That's a lot of wear and tear on a couple of puppets.
Yes, we had two of each, and while two was on the air, the other was being wardrobed. We had our own wardrobe mistress, Aunt Dorothy Stanley, and she,
Still
in
around.
the 33 years, did all the...
Oh, that's
Oh, she did a good job. Dorothy Stanley, thank you for all of your hard work as well, for outfitting everyone on Children's Hour.
And Christine sure does have a nice voice.
Oh, I'd forgotten what you sounded like.
It's probably
You
time
know,
to say goodnight
I
to the
think
boys
it's
and
time
girls.
to say goodnight, boys and girls.
Goodnight, boys
Good night,
and
boys and
girls.
girls. Good night, boys and girls.
Coming up, the KY3 medley by Nick, Rule, and Ned the Band.
You always see neighbors helping neighbors, and it's really amazing to be a part of that. I know that you're there as a reporter for the worst moments of their lives, essentially, sometimes, or sometimes the best when they win an award or something like that. But you see people come together and help each other, and it's neat to be a part of that and to see that.
Hi, I'm Ann Curran. I just wanted to say congratulations, KY3, on 50 years of great morning news. Ozarks Today and the Today Show fit like a glove. Thanks, Southwest Missouri, for making our family part of yours.
Here they are, KY3 meteorologists Ron Hurst and Brandon Beck.
Oh, this is a great night. Well, we're happy to welcome to the stage tonight one of the Ozarks' funniest, freshest, and most talented bands. They pay me $20 to say that.
Is that all they gave you? Well, you might know them from their gigs at Salty's, where you can see them every Friday and Saturday night until they die. Right, guys? Or from their music on countless commercials.
These are the guys that are responsible for many of the KY3 theme songs that you hear, including KY3 for Kids and, of course, the Celebrate for Ozarks.
So please welcome with me tonight with a special number for our 50th anniversary, Nick, Rule, and Ned the Band.
Nick and Rule and Ned the Band starts now.
I'd love to watch the shows on KY3. It's been part of my life since 1973. I used to watch Nick Sibley on those shows of the Jubilee. There was Roy Acuff, little Gary Ellison too. Old Nick Sibley was speaking the blues. Love to watch the shows on KY3. It's been a part of my life since 1973. Sing it, Dick.
I'm 50 years old, same age as KY3.
You're older than that, man.
I'm 50 years old, same age as KY3. Could you tell me why they all look so much better than me? I watch Children's Hour every day at 4 o'clock. Saw Skinny and Rusty and Norm still hot, but I'm 50 years old, same age as KY3. Tell me why they look so much better than me. Take a little chapel. Let's bring out the ladies.
Well, every Thursday night I'm on my couch in a laid-back position. We like to watch. We're watching Will and Grace on my Kmart television. We like to watch. We like to watch. But I just can't wait till I get that high definition. We like to watch. We like to watch. I'm on a plasma monitor, 30 inches tall, 2 inches thick, and I can hang it on the wall. Surround sound, 5.1, you know that rocks. We like to watch. We like to watch. But to afford all that, I'll have to live in a cardboard box. We like to watch. I don't care, you know why? We like
Nick, Rule, and Ned the band. And a couple of other guys thrown in.
We love you guys too. We have really watched you guys over the years and enjoyed it so much.
The KY3 song, huh?
Oh, I think it should become an anthem.
I'm not arguing with you. Nuts, bolts, and screws. You know, when I first started in this business,
Seems like yesterday, doesn't it?
well, a couple of months ago, actually, it was film that we were working with. That's how we conveyed.
Wow, you do go back a long way.
Yep. And then we made the transition suddenly to today to satellite
Oh,
and
isn't it something?
digital and all
Seems
that.
like it was overnight almost.
It does to me. You know, I lost some time somewhere in between, but it happened real
Age
quick.
will do that to you, Tony.
Yeah. One of the things that I've been most proud of, one of the reasons I've been most proud of being connected with KY3 is because I always tried to stay riding the crest with technology.
Competing with ourselves. It's been wonderful. You've seen programs that thousands of people have come to love over the last 50 years.
Yeah, but KY3 is much more than satellite and sound bites.
That's right. Ask anyone who has worked at KY3 over the last 50 years, and they will say that the force that makes KY3 great has always been its people.
When I came to KY3 20 years ago, I felt I was one of the luckiest guys in the world. KY3 always had a reputation for being a place where a journalist could go and practice real journalism and a place to retire, not just some small television station, like a stepping stone on the way to bigger markets and more fame.
And it's not just those people in the newsroom, but all around the KY3 production, people in the studio. It's a team effort every time you try to put on a news show or promo or something like that. It's a group effort, and you really feel that.
There are things that I've gone through personally, losing my father. There are things that I've gone through, or the station has gone through together, and I can't imagine doing it anyplace else. The station really is a family, and the station and the people here really care about the community, and I think that is what makes what we do so good.
I've been here for almost 20 years, and there were a lot of people that came before me that I got to know, and they were all very, very special, and they all cared about their job, and they instilled in me the fact that, hey, there is a legacy to live up to here at KY3. We are the #1 station, have been ever since we went on the air, and it's up to you and those who follow us to keep that spirit up.
I'm very proud to say that I work at KY3, and I think it's because of the people that I get a chance to work with. There's not a person in this building who I don't think has intelligence and integrity, which is something that is really important in the news business.
I've been to a lot of different TV stations, 7 in all actually through my career, and several other jobs growing up on a farm. And KY3, it's the place to be. I have never enjoyed a job as much as this one, and I think this thing that makes it special is everyone who works here, the people who worked here before us, who left us a legacy to try and build on, and the people who are coming up behind us, who will carry it on into the next millennium. I'm thinking we're going to be the place to be for another 1,000 years or something like that. At least, something like that. I don't know. What do I know? All right, back to Man with the Mic out here in the audience here at the 50th anniversary celebration. Joan, everything seems to be in order here. You've signed. Blood tests are back. Everything is good. We've had a witness and everything. Okay, let's do this. All right, your name is?
My name is Joan.
Well, are you enjoying the show so far?
Well, yes, sir, I am. It's a very nice show.
Very, very